Hey guys, the WalterFootball.com After Dark show for April 9, 2025. This is our master show. We're going to do picks, DFS selections, and whatnot. I'm going to get into all of it. So we're going to do a quick intro because we have to get going here. It's already 11:15. So please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video, visit the link in the description for the merch store. As always, I'm wearing something from the merch store. It's hashtag Ken Griffin Lied. You can get that as well as a bunch of other stuff on the merch store, as you can see on the screen. You can change the colors of it. I'm sure they have other things like hoodies and stuff. And we're going to add more to it. You can go to Amazon, buy my books. The most recent one is Jerks of the College Years, where I made fun of people because I was at Penn State for 6 years and I ran into a lot of strange people up there. Also, please consider super chats, super stickers. That's the best way to support the show. We've had John Sanders, Slew, Can't Make an Eagle, Armac, Degeneron, the Boss, several others, Karmic, several others. Sorry if I missed your name, but you guys have been so great with your contributions. I can't say that enough because YouTube ads pay almost nothing. And if you really want to help support the show, this is just the way to do it. It's really the best way. So, all right, we're joined by Butters and Nuggets. Let's go top to bottom. Butters, Nuggets, how's it going?
It's going good. I'm kind of flying solo here this week until tomorrow. My wife is gone again for work.
Lucky.
I know. And then you can see my bedroom. This isn't my bedroom. It's a spare bedroom, but it's kind of a mess right now because next week we're actually going to Disney. So we're kind of scrambling on packing and everything, but can't miss out on the Masters.
Yeah, absolutely.
Never.
Right, Nuggets, how's it going?
I mean, last week was great. The week before that was great. Yeah, I did bet the Gators actually money line at half. I was getting plus 135 and it worked. So I can't complain.
Congratulations. Yeah, it's nice.
So, I mean, that and, I know Butters is when we say this, but Butters did actually make one hell of a call last week. He said, our favorite Hobbit is in bad conditions. Maybe we should bet him this week. And Caesar's only limited me to $10, but I got a 100% profit match. So he went from 70 to 1 to 140 to 1. And wow. we picked up $1,400 off $10. So we can't complain. We're rolling into the Masters with a nice funky change. And I got some crazy bets. And I'm telling everybody right now, I'm fading Scotty.
Oh, okay.
I don't think he has it this year. And there hasn't been a repeat champion in all of the Masters. Okay. I did the research. I'm like, holy crap. Nobody's ever repeated at the Masters. And on top of that, there's one other thing where we'll get into it, but I got so many stats, it's ridiculous. But the point is there's never been a repeat champion at the Masters ever. So like Scotty, he's never even finished first round leader ever. He's only ever been top 6. So anyway, we'll get into this.
In any tournament?
No, just for the Masters. Just for the Masters.
Okay.
No, right, Scotty's been first round leader, but I mean, granted, he's a god among men. I get it, but I'm fading Scotty completely this week. Anyway, that's a whole other story.
So as Nugget said, Butters called Harmon last week. I did not have Harmon. I had the runner up. Unfortunately,
sorry.
He did not get there. He was 6 under, so he was never really in contention. The week before, though, I had Minwoo Lee. I forget what he even was. Was he like?
Yeah, I grabbed him right after the first round. I grabbed Minwoo.
Yeah, so we had
Minwoo. I will say I was almost back to back the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, almost as great in horseshoes and hand grenades.
Yes, because I had Vic, and then last week I had Vic, and then I had Scotty. Because I faded Minwoo, and then Harmon. So I'm on a little bit of a heater, but I don't want to get too overconfident.
Your forehead's getting really big. We don't want to get that. You got to put that ego in check.
Yes,
exactly.
This is very true. I could easily go wrong easily. So, but we'll move on.
Yeah, exactly. And the week before that, I had Justin Thomas, who it seemed like a very safe bet when he was 3 strokes up with 3 to go. And then he had that meltdown, he hit the ball into the crowd, and then hit the ball in the bunker, and it was just over, so unfortunately.
And he switched his caddy. Like, why are you switching your caddy? Like, I know your caddy's sick, but but before the Masters, your caddy can't gut it out unless your
Which one
caddy
is it?
is Justin Thomas.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. There is some rumor that he had Max Homa's old caddy, who apparently it wasn't Max Homa's decision; it was the caddy's decision. So you
Yeah,
got some drama going on in that case too. So it would be kind of hilarious if
Homa,
he
I
came
think, is
out. But
broken, but yet he
Yeah.
shot the most practice shots today. He had like 240 shots on the range. I'm like, what the hell is Max doing?
he's
I want
searching. You never want to be searching at the Masters.
I want
Exactly.
I want to bet him to miss the cut. I actually did not post that yet. I want to bet Homa to miss the cut, and I wanted to get your opinion on Matthew Pavon because on
Oh
Bookmaker,
my!
I know because I know you don't trust the French, but
No, actually, I do trust Pavon because Pavon has fucked me in the ass many times because he screwed me out of 2 outright wins, and I kind of like just the French guy. But here's the problem about new guys playing the Masters: no, no first year player playing the Masters has ever won it.
well, hold on. I'm not talking about Pavon winning it. I just need Pavon to beat Max Homa because on
I would agree
Bookmaker,
with that. Oh, he's gonna
I
destroy
think
Max Homa.
that seems pretty easy.
on
Oh yeah.
Bookmaker, Pavon is minus 109 to beat Max Homa. I
How
think
much
that
money do you have? Do you have your mortgage?
I'm taking a HELOC.
Oh my
No doubt.
God. I actually got a HELOC and I put it on beating the shit out of Max Homa.
I'm glad to hear that because that's the one question I had for you because you used to have strong opinions on Pavon and I like Homa. Remember he got like third at the Masters last year and he was almost going to win and like he blew it or something. He like hit the ball into the water. I'm not sure exactly what happened, but then
Oh, I got
afterwards,
stats on this. Hang on.
yeah. So I'm just saying like after that happened, he made a comment saying he's like I drank like for the first time in a while, and I'm think like just seeing like his results this year that have been like absolutely disastrous. In his past, let me pull it up here. In his past, 1, 2, 3, 4, five tournaments, he's missed the cut. He's played in 9 tournaments this year. He's only made the cut in 3 of them.
Yeah.
He's been awful, and I think that like ever since the Masters, ever since he blew it, he's been a disaster.
Yeah.
So like
He was
in the back of my head,
third.
I'm like, is he like is he on like a bender with like drinking or something? Because
Well,
he did mention it.
between that and being on the cover of PGA 2025, like,
Yeah.
between him and who's the other? Matthew Fitzpatrick and Tiger. Like,
Mhm.
and then Homa was third. He was 43rd in 2023 and 48 in 2024. Like, yeah, I could see him doing that. I mean, California guy. Like, I don't trust California guys.
Less so than French people.
I don't like the French period, but I like French people that make me money.
Okay, fair enough. All right. Well, Nuggets, I know your time here is limited.
I apologize, because wifey has some time limits. So
Yeah.
I got some crazy ass stats that I just want to kind of hammer through because
Let him cook. Let's go. Let him cook.
Right. The biggest thing for me this week is 45 out of 45 winners played the Masters at least once. So you have to be a multi-time player of the Masters. You can't be a rookie and win this thing. So hey, if you're a first-year player, already out of my play pool.
Yeah.
Now this was
Oberg almost won last year, but yeah, go ahead. You're right.
Yeah, fair enough. But now Aberg, I actually want to bet this year. I think he could win it. I think him, Step, Corey Connors. I think those are and Rory. Those are my 4 guys that I think are going to win this thing. I don't think
you're on Rory. Oh God.
Well, hold on.
So am I.
Hi,
So am I.
Butters. We have talked about how Scotty and Rory have basically flipped because like Rory is on this weird ass train of like he's just so dialed in, and Scotty's just kind of like screwing around. Like you don't need elite putting here, but Rory is just like he's won already twice on the tour this year. He's been nuts. Like
Yeah, but
how do you see?
he hasn't beaten anyone good.
Okay, was
Some
Scotty at
players.
Pebble Beach? Was Scotty at Players? Yeah.
No, he
Yeah,
was
everyone.
playing. He was playing. What was it? Lori that couldn't. Um,
You just hate Rory.
no,
I hate the number on
Lori
Rory
can't.
and Scotty.
Shane Lowry can't put 4 rounds of golf together, and then what's he beat JJ Spawn that can't win at a playoff. So
Okay, JJ is my top 5 pick.
no, I like JJ here. I like
I
JJ.
think J. Okay, so there's a stat I found. This is a crazy ass stat. 13 of the last 13 winners have gone at least 18 total strokes tee to green prior to the Masters. I got a list of guys. You want to hear the list?
Go ahead.
Yeah.
Scotty, Corey Connors, Morikawa, Lowry, JJ, Rory, Sepp, Aaron Rye, surprise. Didn't think that was possible. Bryson, Lucas Glover
Automatic
is
love.
18 is 19 strokes tee to green in the last
Wow.
4 events. Willie Taurus, Russell Henley, Bobby Mack, and holy crap, Kevin Yu.
That's funny.
You
I
want
consider Kevin Yu for my lineup. I was like, I don't know.
Okay, but here's the guys, like the 18 is kind of like the weird like cutoff number, but guys right below that, Hakeem Neiman, Justin Thomas, they're at 17, 16, and then 15 is Cantlay, Rahm, and Fleetwood. Like I think he can go down to 14, but if you want to go with that 18 line, like that's an awesome player pool right there for DFS. Just saying.
I like it. I do like Neiman quite a bit. I mean, we can get into all that, but I do like Spawn as
Neiman
well.
missed the thing by like 0.2. It's like
Right.
17.98. Like he could have been 18.
Yeah, that's interesting. So did you want to? I don't know. You said, do you have any other stats before we get into why you don't like Scheffler?
So Justin Thomas has missed the cut 2 years in a row.
Yeah.
No player has ever won the Masters missing the cut the year before. And he's missed it 2 years in a row. That kind of freaks me out.
Interesting. Okay.
What's my other big one? Yeah, correct form, especially tee to green. The only player that met all the criteria for this round of the Masters was Rory. Like he met all 19 of my 19 criteria, and that scared me.
What I mean, do you want to? What I mean, 19 is a lot, but like, what's your criteria? Like,
Hold on, I'll pull it up.
Okay.
I gotta pull it up.
Okay, I'm interested. I mean, I do like Rory too. I bet both Scheffler and Rory, and maybe that makes me like a super donkey chalk guy. But like, I usually don't do that. I usually bet long shots. But I think the cream rises to the top here, and Rory's having an amazing year. Just put on the screen here. He won the Players. He won the Pebble Beach. He wasn't even trying to win the Houston Open. Like he
wasn't.
He was preparing for the Masters. He got fifth. This guy's been putting out of his mind. His approach game is great. He hits the ball very, very long. Good around the green. Like I don't see why he couldn't do this. And yeah, like he has a bad history at the Masters, but you know, so remember Phil Mickelson, everyone was like, oh, he can't win a major, can't ever win a major. And then he won 6. So, you know, trends can be broken. So
all right,
yeah,
so I pulled up my list. So
Okay.
all right, so 25 of the 27 last Masters winners finished 30th or better in their previous Masters. 57 of the last 60 did not win the Masters the year before. 18 of the last 19 were not the betting favorite of the week. 13 of the last 15 had finished top 6 in a major tournament within going to the Masters. 15 of the last 15 had finished 35th or better the previous start before the Masters. 15 of the last 15 ranked inside the top 30 strokes gained tee to green in the year leading up to the Masters win. 13 of the last 15 ranked inside the top 40 par 5 scoring in the year leading up to the Masters. And then 13 of the last 16 ranked in the top 40 going for the green in the year leading up to the Masters. So those are just some of the trends I found. And Rory hit every single one.
Wow. Was there anyone else who was it close, like 18 or 19?
Yeah, there were some others that were close. Scotty was close.
Okay.
And I think Bryson was the other. Let me just pull up my notes. Hold on one second.
Okay. Yeah.
Of course, I close out the window that I need to look at because I bet Vancouver connects to come back against.
It's all right.
Dallas.
Walter's got like 170 of them up.
Dallas, and I was right. So yeah, it was Scotty and Bryson. Cantlay and Rahm fit 16 out of 19, and then Schauffele, Henley, Sepp, and Lowry were 15 out of 19.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, Roy is pretty interesting. He's what was he, plus 750, I thought, somewhere.
I saw him at 650 today on Caesars. I was pissed. I was like, oh.
Yeah, he was plus 750 a bookmaker earlier this afternoon. I want to make sure that's still the case. But usually bookmaker has the best odds. Rory's actually plus 767 now. So I didn't even get the best number. Scotty's up to plus 486. Someone told me, I think you told me that at Caesars Scheffler's 5-1, or no, actually that was someone else on Twitter. Someone told me on Twitter Scheffler was 5-1 on Caesars.
Yeah, he's down to 4.5 to 1.
Okay, all right. So plus 486 on bookmaker. So the bookmaker has the best lines there. They don't always, but it's usually. I mean, it's always great to shop around. So obviously. Yeah. So do you want to talk about why you don't like Scheffler?
Only because it's never happened where it's back to back. I think Scotty is a great play. I don't think Scotty's gonna win it though. Like there's just something with Scotty this year where he's just like he's almost like, yeah, I'll turn on when I have to turn on. It feels like Jordan is prime, you know? Like he's not in the if this is the FedEx Cup playoffs, Scotty's gonna turn on. It's the Masters. It's one of the things like Scotty will probably finish like second or third, but he's not going to have that number that like everyone's freaking out about. I just think it's Rory's year. I don't know how else to say it. Like I've seen Scotty play, and it's almost like he's just going through the motions. He looks like a first-time dad. Like you have no clue what you're doing. Right. You have a staff, but yet you're still like, oh, I still should participate with my kid. Like Scotty just doesn't. Like, honestly, he could show up and win the thing. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is that, like, from a DFS and betting perspective, like, I can't bet the favorite. It just there's no value in it. I'd rather bet like guys like Rory, Sepp, Corey Connors, etc. Like, I'd rather bet those guys.
I want to. Oh, God.
No, I think there's more value there. Like, I just think there's no value in betting Scotty to win it when he's only won one tournament this year, and he's been the betting favorite in every tournament he's been in.
Well, I want to. What'd you say, Butters?
He hasn't won a tournament this year.
Oh yeah,
I
thought he hasn't won it all this season.
Well, I mean, technically, this count the Hero World Challenge count. So you guys are both right. Like he won this technically. It was this season, but this calendar year he's not won. So okay. I want to push back, maybe talk you into Scheffler because the point you made was that like he looks like he's going through the motions, and I would agree with you. But remember when he was arrested for that stupid violation in the parking lot, and then he was in the back of the police car. And they actually released the footage of that, where he was just having a conversation with the cop driving him, and he was just talking normally to the cop, and the cop was like, oh, he was asking him about like golf because I don't think he's familiar with it, and Scotty was like, yeah, the Masters is the biggest deal in the world to me. He's like, it matters more than any other tournament. He could have said the Ryder Cup. That year was the Olympics. He could have said the Olympics. He could have said the other three majors. He could have said the tour championship. He could have said the Players Championship. No, he said Masters. Like, he's clearly honed in on the Masters. And I think that, like, this means more than anything to him. And I think that this is like his Super Bowl. And like the fact that he's going through the motions earlier, you're right. Like I was going to say, like, not Jordan, but like, you know, the Golden State Warriors after they won first couple championships, where, you know, they would just take it easy to start the season, and then they would gear up when it mattered most. And I loved seeing this Houston Open second overall. This was not even a great tournament for him because it was like a bomber's paradise. And like, he does hit the ball far, but he's not like a bomber, you know, like Stefan Jaeger or Minwoo Lee. You know, he's not like that distance, but he does everything else well. And I just look at his putting, like in this tournament, like it was the best putting he's done all year. And I think that, like, kind of reminds me of last year, where he started off a little slowly and then he kind of figured out the putting. I'm going to bring it up here. So he had all these wins, but he started slowly. Like, look at his putting. It was just not good. And he was not winning either, kind of like last year. And then he figured it out, the Arnold Palmer, and then he started winning, and he won the Masters. That was his third win. It just feels like he's going to start slowly, and then, like, once he gets to the Masters, he's going to kind of like figure it out. And, like, you know, he's going to be honed in, because this means everything to him. And it's the perfect golf course for him because, you know, approach play means so much at Augusta. He's the best approach play in the world. Around the green play, he's a wizard around the green. He hits the ball far enough. You know, like I said, he's not like a pure bomber, but he hits the ball far enough for where it's like he can win. He's not going to be at a disadvantage. So I think that like, if I'm going to bet Scotty to win a major this year, it's definitely going to be the Masters. Like, I want to bet him to win I don't know, like a Bomber's Paradise at the U.S. Open, which is usually like the case there. Like, I'm not going to bet Scotty there. But this is his Super Bowl. Like, this is what he loves the most. This is what he puts emphasis on the most. And I want to bet, like, the best golfer in the world, who's going to be super focused and is finding his form. It just seems like, yeah, there's not that much value at almost 5-1, but at the same time, we are betting the best golfer in the world in great form, in emerging form, where he just really wants to win, you know, the most. So. That's on Scheffler.
Okay, so I'll agree with you there. However, I think the number will get better after the first round.
Fair,
so I think Scotty is not going to be first round leader. And as we all see, that first round leader gets inflated. So you're telling me you want to bet Scotty to win it post first round? I'll ride that. I'm in. But I'm not paying plus 450. Like, give me plus 700, plus 800 for Scotty to win it post first round. I'm in. You know, because in the last 3 years, he hasn't finished in the top 6. He's only finished top 6 in first round leader. Like, he's not going to go wire to wire. But if you give me a good number post first round, I'm in. But prior to that, it feels like there's no value at plus 450. But that's just me. I mean, like, maybe I'm crazy. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, it's fair. And Rory's right next to him too. Like, it's not like Rory's like 10-1. He's like almost 7-1.
Yeah.
You know, that doesn't feel like great value either. I think value-wise, I'd rather have Scheffler at 5-1 than Rory at 7-1. Even though I like them both. I'm betting them both. But I think this is going to be a Scheffler McIlroy showdown. We haven't seen that. I don't think we've ever seen that.
No, we haven't. This is like a Tiger/Phil.
Yes.
Almost.
I think that's what it's going to come down to. Because I don't really like love anyone else. Like, I like some other guys, and I'm betting some other guys, but like, they stand out to me the most. And like, in my model, like, they're by far ahead of everyone. Like, it's not even close. So plus, I mean, it's not like a rinky-dinky tournament where like they don't care. Like, this is they both won. This is Scheffler's like favorite tournament, and this is something Rory's never won. Like, they're both gonna be dialed in, and they're both like getting hot. Like, it just seems like I want to be on both. You know, that's where I stand. But
I get it.
Yeah. Butters, what do you think about Scheffler? I know you don't like McIlroy. I don't know if you want to talk about that. But
that loser piece of shit, Rory.
in response to like Scheffler, like, where do you stand on Scheffler?
Says.
Yeah.
One thing I always have to keep telling myself is I need to take emotions out and just.
You never take emotions out.
I've been trying to get better at that.
Yeah, that's called therapy and alcohol.
It's a Max Holmes thing.
Exactly. So maybe we should back Max Homa just to finish like top
Yeah, right.
20, just to spite
Yeah,
everything.
just stop drinking for this tournament.
For anyone that's watching this show that's never watched golf or just only watches for like the majors and whatnot, consider this. We've got drinkers. We've got a guy that was in prison for 2 years that is now playing. That's now
Oh God.
playing this year. We've got literally
Angel
a golfer
Cabrera.
that caddy left him last week. And then we've got a guy that's number one in the world that last year got arrested mid tournament. Anything can basically happen. Like, this is like Attitude Era WWF kind of like in some points. It's just
And then
hilarious.
the New World Order shows up with Hollywood Hulk Hogan.
Yeah. Like, golf is fun to watch. Like, just if you get into like the storylines and everything, like, I mean, this is like real life stuff. It's like, this is hilarious. But anyways, I've had this weird feeling with Scotty. I said it probably about 2 months ago, and I think my feeling is this: I don't think Scotty is going to win all season. I think he'll be in the mix quite a bit. I think he can get a lot of second places, but for whatever reason, I have this gut feeling that says he doesn't win all season. Like, he can get all the FedEx points he wants, and somehow he just doesn't win. Now, can I be completely wrong? Absolutely. And that's like betting against. He's the number one golfer in the world. You're betting against that. However, not a lot of people think that. I know Phil Mickelson actually went on Twitter and actually said the same thing. He doesn't think Scotty will win. I think he said before the Ryder Cup. So I could be delusional. Who knows? But then again,
I think Scotty owes Phil a lot of money, but that's.
But then again, this delusional guy also suggested Brian Harmon last week too, and hell, I was right. So,
hearing that makes me like Scheffler more. Like, if everyone's telling him that he can't win this year, like, you're telling the best golfer in the world that he can't win. Like,
no, that's Phil Mickelson. Phil Mickelson's not everyone. However,
I've heard that opinion from a lot of people saying that, like, Scheffler, down year, blah blah blah, like he's not going to win. And it is Phil Mickelson. That's an important voice. If you're telling the best player in the world that he can't win, like, I feel like he's gonna be extra fired up to win.
Oh,
that is the Jordan,
Brady,
Jordan, the meme of like, and that pissed me off personally, right? Like, where he's holding the iPad, and he goes, yeah. Now I'm like, God damn it, do I need to bet Scotty? I just can't. At plus 450, I just can't do it. Like, you told me, like, Scotty was plus 1,000. Okay, fine. And Rory was plus 1,200. I'm in. But it's such a short number, and like, I've been burned by short numbers all this year. I'm kind of like, I just don't believe it. So.
Yeah, I hear you.
This is more of a bankroll management thing for me. Like, granted, the hit on Harmon last week was great, but I just don't want to light money on fire. I'd rather take some shots on some guys that I've had some faith in this year. I mean, hell, I got Corey Connors at to finish in the top 20 at plus 320.
Okay. Nice.
I mean, that's a hell of a number.
Yeah, I have a couple of top 10, top 20 bets. I want to say this before we move on to that. Like, I feel like the smaller number bets, the favorites haven't hit this year, but this is the first major, and I think that's, like, as I said before, the cream rises to the top in the majors.
Yeah, they said the same thing in the Super Bowl too, and then Patrick Mahomes got destroyed.
Yeah, well, I mean, I did like the Eagles. I thought that was just a great matchup. But anyway, no, like, this is when the top golfers start playing the best. Like, early in the season, they're just trying to find their form. They're working on stuff. like they're going to be geared up here, and I really think there are only like 25 or so guys who can win this, like around there. Like yeah, you look at like a third of the field is like former winners who were in this. Like Vijay Singh, I know he got he pulled out of this tournament, but like Vijay Singh was in here.
Bernard Longer just got a custom-made Mercedes.
Nice.
From Mercedes. It's like an S500 that is like all mastered out because it's his last ever Masters.
Oh man.
And I'm like, what did I do wrong in this life where I can't get that?
Well, I don't know. Maybe we can hit the bets and get
win
it.
the Masters once. I guess I got to try to win a Masters once, but good luck with that.
I was about to say, like, go back in time and bet more on Harman, but like you said, wait, hold on. You said you got limited for $10 on Harman.
So here's the deal. Like, it was if I had bet more on Harman, I couldn't get the 100% profit boost.
Oh, okay, I got it.
So basically, I doubled the profit but minimized the loss. Right.
Mm-hmm.
So hence bankroll management. Throw $10 on it, you double it, and it hit. I mean, I could have thrown $100 on it and made $7,000, but that's not good bankroll management, especially when I chase it around of a lot of first round leaders and second round leaders. So I'd rather kind of spray the field and go from there rather than just like again, just like this week with the Masters, I'm gonna do the same thing. I'm gonna do first round leaders. I'm gonna spray, especially with the first round leader history. I mean, like hell, Bryson was the first round leader last year. Year before that, it was Hovland, Rahm, and Brooks. Year before that was Im. Year before that was Rose, and then Casey, Dustin Johnson, and Dylan Fratelli. I couldn't believe that. Then Bryson and Brooks, and then Speed. That's the last 7 years of first round leaders. So I'm actually tempted to go in on Bryson again because I could see him doing it. I mean, he's done it 2 out of 7 years, and we don't get to see him much because he's on live.
Yeah, they lengthened this course too, so that plays his
and
strengths.
Bryson just has he has insane shots. Like if you watch live, incredible. You see him sit these insane shots.
Yeah, exactly. Did you before you have to go? Did you want to talk about some of the guys you are betting? Like, I mean, you mentioned some names. Like, do you want to get into why?
Yeah. So I'm already on Sepp. I mean, I think Sepp's number is way too low. I got him at 70-1. I think that number he's been playing so good all year. He's already won once. Sepp has just been insane. JJ Spawn's another one I'm on, along with Corey Connors. I'm on Rory as well. I'm avoiding Scotty until after the first round. But basically any guy that I listed that's at 18 mark, between Lowry, Rory, Sepp, Rye, Bryson, Glover, Willie Z, I'm betting all of them because their numbers are just insanely good because of all the focus on Rory and Scotty. Like you're getting insane value. So, I mean, if you got $100 and you can put on 10 golfers, I'd put on like the 10 guys other than Rory and Scotty. Like Bryson, I just got it plus 1,800 to win the damn thing. Like, how is Bryson plus 1,800 win this thing? That's insane.
Yeah, my model didn't like Bryson too much. I mean, he's in the top 10, but actually no, he's 12th actually. Just because his approach play is not very good, and you need to have elite approach play here. But as I said before, the fact that they lengthen this means that his power is just going to
update.
Yeah.
Sepp was 70-1. He's now 55-1.
Wow. Let's see what he is on Bookmaker because, like I said, that. Yeah, he's still okay. So if you want to bet Sepulon Shaka, he's 70-1 on Bookmaker still. So like I said before, that sportsbook has the best numbers for golf. Usually, not always, but usually.
Yeah, JJ's is 100-1.
I bet JJ Spawn to finish in the top 10 at top 20 to finish in the top 20 at plus 230.
I like that.
Spawn has drifted just a little bit.
What did you say?
Spawn has drifted a little bit.
Did he finish second place in his second most recent tournament? Right. I know he missed the cut in the last one, I believe. Yeah, Yeah, cut then second.
I got plus 275 at Caesars.
To put top 20?
Top 20 for JJ.
Oh man, I gotta look at Caesars now. Because DraftKings was better than FanDuel. FanDuel had plus 220. I saw DraftKings at plus 230. But yeah, man, if you're telling me Caesars is good, I have trouble finding stuff on Caesars. I don't know. Maybe it's just me, but
Their app is not great. I'll be honest. Like
it's
unless
awful.
you're like there live, it's the only way to really do it. Like
I can't even log into Caesars on my phone. And it's the right password and everything. It just doesn't log in. I don't understand. So I have to do it on the computer.
It doesn't like you.
Yeah. No, you're right. I do see Spawn at plus 275 in Caesars. So apologies to anyone about that. That's I always like to give the best lines, but yeah, I have to start.
I mean, Lucas Glover is plus 360 top 20. I mean, I'm gonna jump on that.
It's interesting. Where do I have Glover in my model? I have him.
I'm not touching the Højgaard brothers. Like either Højgaard, I'm not touching.
No, not at all. Why are they even here? Like, feels like they should not be in this tournament, right?
Not only that, but like they like jinx themselves. They took a picture with each other like on the course, and I'm like, no. Like,
how is like Ben Griffin not here instead of him? Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, or who's supposed to be winning last? Oh, Gary Woodland. How is Gary Woodland not here?
Yeah. Yeah. Why I don't get why these two guys are here. I get the past winners. That makes sense, but like why?
Cabrera. So if we want to go with Angel Cabrera, our famous like 2 years in jail. So he's plus 150. He's 150 to 1 to win it on DraftKings. He's 200 to 1 to win it on Caesars.
Okay, now I have to look at what
he did just win the Champions. I think it was Champions or DP. Yeah. He won one of the titles last week.
Here's another instance where Bookmaker is better. He's 555 to 1 on Bookmaker.
Oh, Jesus. I just want to see him be in first place, and then I'll cash it.
He's 55. Look at this little sad pentagon here.
Is that even a pentagon, or is that just spit?
It's like a rhombus. I don't know. It's like he won the James Hardy Invitational. Good for him. He did finish 24th at the 2016 Masters. 9 years ago. But who knows what prison time did for him? Although he did win, so maybe.
And he got fat as.
Yeah, he looks like a big guy.
He definitely did not skip a meal in prison.
No, I guess he's fed well there.
I don't think our Hobbit's going to do well this week.
No.
No. I mean, I'm thinking like, honestly, Corey, Spawn, Rory, Sepp. I think Rye is going to be my top rookie. I think he's going to do the best out of all of them. I think Bryson might just win this mother. Like, he won the U.S. Open. Win this. It could be like a Bryson, slam.
I've been on Bryson since he won last year. Since he won the U.S. Open last year.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, he's incredible. But
he's the
first plays. Oh, yeah, he's awesome.
And he's plus 1,200. I mean, like, how do you say no?
Does it bother you that he hasn't finished above 5th on Live this year?
He was technically in the mix in Miami, and then he double bogeyed bogey or double bogeyed the easiest hole on the course. He just like ejected.
Yeah,
he was technically in the mix and winning it, and then he just ejected. So
Caesars gave me a profit boost of like 30% on any bet on the Masters up to $50. So I just did Bryson to win it at plus 1,200, and yeah, I'm happy.
Yeah, I like that bet.
It seems weird to me that like you can't beat Leishman and Schwartzel, and like suddenly you're going to beat Scheffler and McIlroy. He could do. Look, I mean, he's one of the best golfers in the world. He could do it, but like his putting this year has been bad. His approach play is not great. It's not.
But you don't need to be an elite putter here. You just need to know where not to screw up.
Yeah, I just think that you can't. I feel like you can't be a bad putter. You don't have to be a great putter. You
No,
know,
no,
yeah.
no, no. But Scotty for years has been a bad putter.
Right,
And
which is why I liked him last year because he got his putting together. And look, he's amazing putting 2 weeks ago.
I don't disagree with you. I'm just telling you, like, from a DFS perspective, fading him means I'm clear of like 60% of the field because every lineup is going to start with Scotty
Yeah, or
and
Rory. Yeah,
or Rory. But I'd rather put my money. I hate to say this. I hate this guy. I'd rather put this year in particular. I just think Rory has been better, and I'd rather take the discount on the salary and go with Rory, or hell with it, fade them both and start at a Bryson and go from there. Like that's how I'm gonna start building my lineups.
I have been building pretty even because I noticed that I feel like the pricing on DraftKings is screwed up because
It's
usually,
beyond screwed up.
but yeah, not just for this tournament, but for like golf in general, because the worst golfers are like 6K and the best golfers usually like 10K, 11K. And if you think about it like the NFL, if you look at like receivers, like the top receivers were like 80, 8,500, 9,000, and but then the worst receivers are 3,000. So like it's such a big gap. Whereas like this is smaller. I feel like the worst golfer should be like 4K, and then you could like put in some of the bums and just win on a punt play. But like you can't spend 6K on like a lot of these guys. I don't know if you got to building some lineups here, but I was looking at the 6K range and I only found like two guys I was even considering. So I don't know if you wanted to talk DFS before you headed out, but like
Sure,
where,
go away.
yeah, I mean, how did you think you're going to build this? Like you said, skip Scheffler and go with Rory or Bryson.
Yeah. So I would say Rory and then add in Corey Connors and Sep. Like I think
Okay.
that's a good start to a build because they're both in the 7Ks.
Okay, yeah, I feel like the 7K is like the sweet spot, as opposed to
Yeah,
6K.
7K is the absolute sweet spot. I mean, now you can kind of play around and figure out what you want to do. You want to throw Bryson in there, cool. But now you're down to 6,700, right? So figure out
Yeah,
the two guys at 6,700.
yeah, it's pretty tough. So yeah, I mean, I found that building a Rory lineup was just made me feel better about it. If this were not a major, I would just skip both guys, and I'd probably put
Yeah,
have like
and I
Morikawa
was
here or something,
yeah,
or
Morikawa is the most tipped golfer at the Masters right now. I would actually start at Bryson,
okay,
because it's 9,000, and now look, you're at 8,200. I mean, that's a balanced lineup. Like,
yeah, yeah,
I mean, and the weather's supposed to be bad on Friday. Like people were saying, play Cantlay. I'll never play him because he screwed me out of so much money. But give me Victor Hovland.
yeah. You like Hovland, okay,
And the only reason I see Hovland because Hovland's screwing around with his driver right now, so I think a lot of people are going to be off of him.
yeah,
So I'd rather trust a guy who, you know, uh, 2 years ago was first round leader here. Like, that means you know the course. That means I'll take experience over your equipment.
hmm why does he always like play around with his clubs and stuff? Like even after he won
I
the tour
don't.
championship, he's like, I got to screw around with my shot. It's like, why? What he just won the tour championship?
It's almost like Kobe back in his prime. He's like, I got to find a new way to shoot the basketball.
Yeah,
Same thing here. Like you're finding a new way to get an extra 3 yards out of your drive. I get it.
yeah, it just cost him his whole last season. Because just
Yeah, which
kept
is
playing like he did in 2023, and he would have been fine.
yeah.
But yeah, I mean, he just won recently, so maybe that's a good sign for him. Yeah, I don't know what else you wanted to mention on here, but I do like this start. I don't think I play Hovland, but I think I like the other three guys.
I'm throwing Hovland out there. I mean, you could go
Yeah,
different ways. I mean, Fleetwood's another way to go. I would say Aaron Rye, Glover. There's so many other ways you can go here.
right.
Um,
Glover
so
6.
exactly. I mean, like, and Glover. I think Glover's gonna be sneaky. So
No, he's not. I'm seeing
really,
I'm seeing 8%.
8%'s nothing. You tell me 18, different story.
Yeah, when all the other guys are like a third his ownership.
Like who?
Yeah, I mean, who do you like?
Guys around them are like Chris Kirk.
Ew.
Let's see.
Homa.
Max
Let's play Homa.
Braverman, Chris Kerr.
Let's play Homa and Cabrera in the same lineup. See what happens.
And be dead.
Right.
Actually, I wouldn't mind taking the best putter on the tour here. I wouldn't mind taking Denny at 6,500.
Denny also might be a little popular too.
I mean, he is the best putter on the tour.
But you're gonna find a lot of people that are gonna try to go like Scotty Rory,
and then
just
bang
play a bunch of punts.
You can't. I tried that. I was like, I wonder if this works, and you just can't do it because you need at least 3 guys in the 6K range, and just like it's awful.
Yeah, and it's like Denny, Kirk, and somebody else.
Let me look at the last optimals because I'm curious. I'm curious if there's
How is Bubba Watson still playing golf?
I know, it's pretty crazy.
God.
Yeah. What do you think? I have to ask you about another guy's 6K range. What do you think about Stefan Jaeger? So he's having.
I love my Jaeger bombs.
He's having a good season.
He is.
He obviously can hit the ball very far. You know, that's what he's all about. His approach base is pretty good this year. His putting solid. Around the green, not as great recently. So that makes me worried a little bit. But you know, he's done pretty well for the most part. He has a 6th. He has an 11th. So I kind of like him at 6,300. I think I bet him as well to go top 20 at plus 360. Now I'm kind of curious what Caesars has him at, but he's plus he's plus 400 at Caesars. So maybe I should have looked at Caesars. So I will from now on. But
I'm grabbing that right now because I think he could finish top 20. Like
yeah, I think so too. Yeah,
he's just been playing. I mean, when I think of bombers, I think of him and Sepp. Like those are the first 2 guys come to mind.
So
yeah,
here I just looked at the optimals the last 2 years, and you know, Aber or however you want to pronounce it. Even though he was second place, even though he was second place, he was not in the optimal.
Interesting.
Get out.
So the optimal last year had Scotty, and then it went down to Colin, Brayson, Fleetwood, Chris Kirk, and Nikolai Hogard. Even though he got second last year, he was not in the optimal.
You just get like a bunch of pars and like not a lot of birdies / bogeys.
It's probably just due to his price. It was just like, sure, he got second place, but I can build better with if I got others in the top 10.
That's interesting because it was his first year at the Masters. I'm kind of surprised to hear that he was priced so highly. You know, but I guess I don't remember what the price was, but I guess it was.
It's such a small field that it's like absolutely the cream rises to the top. Well, you can't fit all of them in your lineups. So how do you make it work? Well, obviously you're going to need the winner. So if you have the winner and you have to cut out second place, that's fine because you can make it up having like either another if there's a couple T2s or if there's a third or fourth or something. I mean, you can fit that into a lineup better because you might be shortening yourself out unless you see like 2, 3, maybe 4 in the 6K that are going to like top 5, top 10.
Yeah, and what you just said kind of makes it evident that you should not play Scheffler and McIlroy because even if you get them 1-2, that's probably not optimal because they're both so expensive and like you need to play.
In my standpoint, like if I feel that Scheffler's not going to win, and if he's going to get second place, he's not going to be optimal, which seems very awkward.
Yeah, I mean, if you're paying 12.4K for a guy, you need him to win, just flat out. Yeah. So if you don't believe Scheffler's to win, then you shouldn't have him in your lineup.
All right, I'm about to get something thrown at me, so I gotta go. Love it. Appreciate the time.
All right,
guys. Have a good one.
Thanks for coming on. Nuggets. Talk
Anytime, guys.
Yep. Thanks. Come on.
All right. Bye. All right. So do you want to run through some plays here? So we already talked about Scheffler, McIlroy, ad nauseum. Where do you fall on this? Because I know you're not going to play Scheffler. I know you don't like McIlroy.
I didn't say I was not going to.
Okay. So, what are you doing? Like, if you had to build one lineup, are you playing Scheffler or McIlroy or neither or both? What are you doing?
Well, I haven't gotten that far building. Like, this is the first time I've actually started kind of actually throwing people into a lineup. So the first two I've liked is Scotty and Bryson.
Okay.
So when you do that, you automatically have to go down to the 6K, and you probably are going to have to pick at least 2 in the 6K. So it's where do you want to go? Well, if we're looking at ownerships and everything, well, you can't play these chalky guys. Like if you're playing this Millie Maker, you got to be careful. You got to be playing some players that make you not feel comfortable at all. So like Glover is probably going to be popular because he's been playing well. I mean, even Mickelson actually might be a little popular as well because he's shown that. Look right there, he's got twice in the top 10 at the Live.
Yep.
And he's shown that he can play at majors. So just right there, people are going to look at that and say, well, maybe he's back. He's back to a place that he feels comfortable. Mm-hmm. Well, okay, that brings up ownership. So then you're going to look at players that maybe are just doing terrible. Like, let's say you feel like Max Homa is able to turn it around. I mean, he's probably going to get like 1, maybe 2% ownership because he's been playing absolute, excuse my French, but dog shit. And so, I mean, if you think he finally turns it around because him and his caddy parted ways, I mean, there you go. I mean, you could be above the curve with everyone. You already found yourself different.
Yes. Although I will not be playing Homa. I like the bet of him not making the cut. Just it feels like his game is self-destructed. I don't know. Like, yeah, there's always a chance he turns it around. I just like there's been no indication of it. Like missed the cut 5 times in a row. Last time he did it, he was 53rd. Like he's just awful. So I will be betting Pavon to beat him, and I will be betting him to not make the cut. Kim McEagle says weakness around the greens will be the downfall of Oberg. Also, some say he needs another year or two of experience at the Masters. Yeah, I mean he finished second last year. But yeah, I mean that was what cost him last year. Although I mean, if you take Scheffler away, he wins it, right? So I think there is a chance he wins it. I just don't like him here very much. I think he's too expensive in DFS. So like we can transition to the 10K range.
And he is the perfect game theory play because he is half the ownership of everyone around him. He might actually be less than 10% by the time the tournament starts. He might be just because he's getting squeezed. And he's getting squeezed. His odds movement is kind of drifting a little bit. I mean, people want to play other golfers around him. He's a perfect game theory play if that's how you want to play.
Oh yeah, sure. It depends what tournament you're playing. If you're playing the $10 million the first, then yeah, it makes sense to play Oberg. If you're playing the $100, which has 27,000 people instead of 470,000 people, you could probably still make the case. But if you're playing like the single entry, like $200 single entry, that only has like 2,000 people in it, then I don't think that's the correct decision to make. So I think you're right. Like if you're just playing it from an ownership perspective and you just want to be different, I think it makes sense to play Oberg. But I think that I agree with what Cam McEagle says, that he just has this big flaw in this game that is going to be costly for him in this tournament. Although, just based on his natural talent, he could be in contention. So I'm not saying that he definitely can't win it. I just think that, I think he's priced too highly. I'll definitely say that. And I think that's probably why his ownership is so low. I mean, well, like, first of all, like you said, there's Scheffler, McIlroy here, and you have Morikawa, who's like all three of these guys are going to be owned. At least Scheffler and Morikawa. I'm not sure if you have the numbers of McIlroy. I feel like a lot more people are going to play Scheffler than McIlroy. So that might squeeze McIlroy a little bit. But I mean, out of these top 4, people are going to be looking at this and say like, I don't want to play Aberg. Let me get the other 3 in my lineup. So
no, I can honestly see like people want to play Scotty, okay, because he's number 1 in the world. People want to play Rory because arguably he's been playing better than Scheffler. Morikawa, he's gonna be highly owned too because he's the most tipped golfer that's being betted on. And then people are going to want to play Rahm because he's also a recent Masters winner as well. And then I would assume that Bryson is going to get popular too because he's kind of the people's champion right now. Mm-hmm. So then Scheffler is probably going to be lower owned. Then Scheffler is probably going to go lower owned too. Now I'm kind of dipping into the 9K range a little bit, but you're kind of seeing like that. This is where you kind of bring in the betting aspect into DFS, where you kind of see where, okay, well, if they're going to be betted on, you can probably see what's going to happen also when they're being picked in a major setting, because you're going to have a lot of casuals that are going to be a lot of people that don't play week on week for golf. They're going to see these big names. They're like, oh yeah, I want to play this guy. Oh yeah, I want to play this guy.
Yeah. No, I think that's absolutely true. And yeah, you did mention DeChambeau Rahm as the past winner. Schauffele won. Which tournament did they win? Was it the it wasn't the U.S. Open. It was the PGA Championship, right? That he won last year. So yeah, he's a recent major winner. Although Schauffele is coming off an injury, so I don't know if he's 100%. So I would fade him. And then we have Thomas Matsuyama. Matsuyama won the Masters several years ago.
And he's a big three play too. He's going to be low owned.
You think so?
Oh yeah, because people are always scared to play him, even though he is a major or a Masters winner. I mean, people are always scared because like of the random back injuries and any withdrawals. I mean, I don't see him doing that at the Masters, but people have this inclination that, oh, he won. I mean, for instance, this season he won the first tournament of the season, and then he hasn't done anything since.
Right.
So I mean, if you're looking at name aspect, like right below him is Brooks Koepka, who's a major tournament killer. I mean, people are going to want to play him as well. So I mean, you're looking at it's almost like looking at brand names, or like brand names of like clothing or whatever, clothing or food or whatever. And like people are going to look at those names and say, yeah, I want to play that. I want to play that golfer.
Yeah. So you want to play the Fruit Rings instead of the Fruit Loops here. If you're playing in this tournament here, the 470,000, like, which definitely needs to get different. I totally agree with that. But if you're talking single entry, so like I said before, if you're building one lineup, you look at the 10K range. You also mentioned the 9K range. Like, who would you like lean toward here? Just like not looking at like ownership, just like pure play, like top play. Like, what would you think here?
Are you saying 9K or 9K and 10K?
Well, I mean, we touched on both, so why not get into both here?
I like Bryson. We talked about Scotty and Rory already, so I like Bryson. I like John Rahm. I like Brooks Koepka. I like a little bit of Abear.
Really, even when not factoring in ownership, you still like him?
Even not factoring ownership, yes, because I mean, so he won at the Genesis, and that was at Torrey Pines. And at Torrey Pines, he was also winning until he started getting sick. So he kind of had a redemption when they came back to Torrey Pines because of the wildfires that were happening in California. So he came back and actually won the tournament. And then like he withdrew from Pebble again because he was sick. So since then, afterwards he's kind of gone down. He's got 2 missed cuts, but I mean, he had a second place last year. I mean, of course, Scotty won by 4 strokes, but I mean, he's been there once, so you can take the rookie season, if you want to call it that way, out of there, and now could be back in contention.
Okay. Yeah, he didn't grade out well in the model for me just because of his bad around the green play. Where is he actually? He's 37th in the model, and his approach play has been pretty weak this year. I just want to bring it up here. Look, even though he won, which is kind of weird. But look, I mean, his approach play hasn't been very good. Around the greens down too. And like outside of the win, he hasn't had a top 20 finish since the Century on January 5th. So yeah, I mean, look, you're right. Like he did get sick, but I don't know. I mean, other than the win, it's just so weird. Like he has this win and he hasn't done well otherwise since January 25th. So I just don't know what to make of it. Like he's not playing well. But you know, Brian Harman wasn't playing well and he won. So yeah, could happen, I guess. I mean, he is super talented. So like, yeah, he could. Would it surprise me if he turned it around and won? Like, no, but at the same time, I don't know. I feel like you need to be playing well heading into the Masters. Like if you look at like last year, what was Aberg doing heading into the Masters? Because he finished second here. So yeah, he had a 14th, he had an 8th, 25th, 19th, 2nd, 9th. Like he was playing much better last year, even though he hadn't won. He was playing much better heading into the Masters than he was this year. You know, his approach play much better too. Look at this. Like just the only time he lost strokes was the Arnold Palmer, and that was his worst finish. He still finished 25th. So like he just like not. I don't know what's going on with him here. Like he's just not doing well. I don't know. Maybe he just won the Genesis. Is like, oh, let me take off until the Masters or something. But you figured that he would get up for the Players Championship, and he got cut there. So yeah, that's why he didn't grade out well for me. So all right.
The Masters in Augusta. I mean, it's a lot. It's vibes. I like using that term just because like if players are feeling it, they're going to go out and play. It's I was listening to a little bit of the some of the press conferences, and I mean, Bryson went out there and said it's hard to explain what Augusta is other than just the feel and the vibes. I mean, it's the same place you go to every year, but it's just a different feeling as a golf course. Even though you can go out there and you know the entire course, it's just a different feeling. And so it really is like, you know, if you're feeling good, I'm waiting to hear about. I'm scouring Twitter and everything about like if someone sees like one of these golfers being like relaxed, calm, like nothing's bothering them, I'm probably going to have them in my player pool because it's like, okay, if nothing's bothering you and you're able to go 4 days here, I think you could be in the mix.
Can I bring up another name that is speaking of that? Justin Thomas. I heard on a show today that instead of practicing on Monday, he went to a spa and was just chilling out there. Does that fit your criteria, just being relaxed?
Well, I mean, technically on Monday, I mean, it was raining, so maybe he was
Right.
just planning on maybe he was just being soft and didn't want to get wet. But I mean, it looks like we've got some rain. It looks like we got some potential rain in the forecast and everything too. So I mean, people are going to play it. People are going to play the Masters in every way, shape possible. I mean, you're going to have the people who like go to fantasy football drafts, and they're like, "Oh, this guy looks cute, so I'm going to draft him," sort of thing. So you never know.
Yeah, I told the story before. There's one league I used to be in for a long time, and there's just like these clueless drafters, like always drafted the worst team ever. And we were walking around during the break, and my friend and I passed by their table, and their fantasy magazine open, and they had PPR rankings open, and they were drafting on that. And I'm like, we're not a PPR league. What are you guys doing? So I mean, you're right. There are weird ways to play it. Justin Thomas, he choked. I mentioned that before at the Valspar. Had him at like 20-1, I think. And he was up 3 strokes, and he was just awful in his final 3 holes. And Hovland caught him a heartbreaker. That's the last time he golfed. So I don't know. I mean,
heartbreaker for me, but yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Actually, that tournament, my first 2 clicks in my I played one lineup, and my first 2 golfers were Victor Hovland and Justin Thomas. So I was like, all right, I got 1 and 2. So that was pretty cool there. But
yeah, that's pretty incredible. Congrats on that one. Yeah, like I don't know. Either he's relaxed, or he's like the Wicked Witch of the West, and he's just gonna melt in the rain, and that's why I didn't go out. I don't like it's one or the other, I guess, but I don't know. I mean, there were other golfers who tried to do stuff, like they played like 3 holes or something. I heard, even though it was raining, and like they sent guys out, they had to call him back in. But like he didn't even try to go out; he was just like chilling out at the spa. So I don't know. I mean, like that could be a good thing that he's kind of dialed in. He's had a great year so far, even though he hasn't won. He got 2nd at the Amex, he got 6th at the Phoenix Open, 9th at the Genesis, 2nd at the Valspar. Like he's been great outside of that final 3-hole finish at the Valspar. And I think that like he just grades out really well for me. He's 3rd in my model. Just a great approach play and around the green play. Like that's where he excels, and that's what you need to win at this tournament. He hits the ball pretty far, like far enough to win. Putting is probably the weakest part of his game, concerning this tournament, but it's not that bad. I'll kind of pull it up here to see exactly what we're talking about here. So yeah, I mean, putting the last two tournaments is great. Like it's been like on off the year, but it's still not that bad. His accuracy is probably his worst metric, but the Masters is pretty wide fairways, so you're not really penalized for that. So it just feels like he should do well here. But as soon as I heard the spa thing, I'm like, is that a good thing or a bad thing? I just don't know. So I did want to bring that up, and I wanted to get your opinion on it.
He seems like just like the pretty boy, like he goes out there, and I've heard this from a couple podcasts as well too, that I've been listening to throughout the season as well. That he just likes to kind of go out there and now I'm quoting other people, not my own opinion. I'm not that smart. I'd rather be lucky than smart. So, but he likes to go out there and just like put up a show for the crowd. Like he'll like make these weird shots, and it's like, why are you doing that? Like, are you trying to win, or are you just trying to impress the crowd? And so that's why I feel like that's what's holding him back from actually winning. Like maybe he gets too like overconfident, and then he wants to like please the crowd, and then he gets into trouble. Maybe he gets a couple bogeys, then he finally is like, okay, calm himself back down, and then try to get come back and come with some birdies when he's actually like making like good shots. And it's like, well, why aren't you being consistent? Like you're not here for the crowd. You're here to win the damn tournament. So
yeah,
that it's just that sort of feeling right there kind of tells me like, sure, can he get a top 10? Probably. Is he going to win? I don't know. If he's not focused to win, then why would I play him to think that he's going to win? So it's just that kind of feeling. Like all these golfers are good. So how are you rating these golfers then? It's like, well, do I like this? Like even that, just like, well, I like this one a little bit more. Like that's your decision there. You just have to make those hard decisions because all these golfers have high win equity.
Yeah, I did hear a negative story about him. Like, there's like two like orphan kids like showed up and like asked for his autograph, and he like stiffed them or something. I don't know like how accurate that story is, and it's from like a year ago or so, maybe 2 years ago, and like that's kind of like when he went into a slump. So I don't know if that had to do with it, where he just wasn't like hitting the ball well and he was frustrated. But I did hear that as well. So I don't know. I mean, look, he's a weird guy, I guess. But he's super talented, and he's playing well this year. So, and he's had success before in majors. So I feel like he can win it. Just didn't know about that situation with him. Kim McNeagle asking Henley or Straka, is that for DFS or betting? In my model, I have Russell Henley 18th in my model, and I have Sepulon Straka 20th. Although Nuggets like Sepulon Straka more. He mentioned him as a potential bet. Straka 70-1 at bookmaker. What is Henley a bookmaker? Let's look at this real quickly. Henley is 44-1. So like different odds here on just betting wise. So I mean, like if you're looking like Henley 18th in my model, 45-1 versus Straka 20th in my model, 70-1. Like there's definitely more value with Straka. But if you're looking at DFS, like where are they price wise? So Henley is 8,400, Straka is 7,600. So yeah, different prices here. Straka 7,600, definitely more value than Henley. So I mean, yeah, to answer your question, I get a Straka on both counts. What do you think?
I mean, gun to the head, I normally would play more Straka than I would Henley, but I also feel like the public is going to kind of do it too. So it's really,
yeah,
it's what you're deciding to do. Like, is it DFS? Is it betting? Is it vibes? Is it how you feel? Like, there's a lot. It's kind of a loaded question because again, the field in the Masters is only like 70 golfers, and what was it last year that got cut? I think there was only like 15 golfers that cut. It cut down to 55 or 60? I can't remember the exact number, but I mean, there's not very many golfers that are going to get cut from the field.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I saw your comment here for betting wise. Betting wise, like Henley gets into these modes where it's like, yeah, he won this year. Well, they both won this year, but I feel like Seth is probably the better golfer right now. I feel like when Henley won this year, it was like Morikawa was out there. It was Morikawa's tournament to win, and he lost it. So Henley just did his thing as one, where Seth actually went out and actually won the tournament. So I would say Seth.
Yeah, Henley broke my heart. I had him at the Cognizant. I bet him at the Cognizant, and he had a poor fourth round. He shot 70 in round 4. He had a chance to win. I think he was, I believe he was the favorite at one point on that Sunday. Jake Knapp was the favorite to enter Sunday, and he just. By the way, where's Jake Knapp in this tournament? Why is he not here? And the Hojgaard brothers are. That's so weird. Anyway,
and yeah, another thing about Seth as well is he is a Georgia Bulldog. So.
Yeah, there you go. But yeah, anyway, no, Henley had a meltdown here in round 4. Knapp had the bigger meltdown. He hit the ball like it was like in the swamp. It wasn't even in the water, and like this poor guy had to like try to like chip it out, and like he hit the ball, and it like there was this big splash, and the ball like barely moved, and like it's like, oh man, that's just like he went from favorite to being like 20-1 like right away. But then Henley was the favorite, and he had this meltdown. Like Joe Highsmith came out of just nowhere and won it with the 64 on Sunday. But then Henley won the next week, and I thought that was the worst tournament for him. But he won. Yeah, he beat out Colin Morikawa. Morikawa was leading the whole day. Like Henley just caught him at the end. It's kind of nuts. But yeah, so there's Henley and Straka. Like you said, he also won. Straka, they're second and third in the FedEx Cup standings right now. Straka won earlier in January, but he's had some good finishes: 7th, 5th, 11th, 14th. His most recent finish, his 28th, was not very good, but this guy makes the cut almost all the time. He's such a great irons player, which is so important for this tournament. If you compare the two, like Henley is more balanced, but he doesn't hit the ball very far. And like I think that could hurt him here at the Masters. Let's see like how he's done at the Masters. So 38th. 4th, but then 30th, and then 15th, 11th. So he's had some good finishes here, but he's never won a major. And I don't know if his Straka's ever done that. Straka's never done that either. So at the Masters, Straka's 16th and 46th, and then 30th. So he's made the cut every time. So I don't love either guy, but you know the numbers on Straka are just so much better at 70-1. Than Henley at 44-1. So I'd rather bet Straka just because you're getting a better number. But and you could probably find like a good deal on Straka at like a top 10 or something. I think that makes sense. Rather than having him win and like trying to beat Scheffler and McIlroy, which is when they're at the top of their game. If you just look at top 10 for this tournament, he is plus 450. Straka is. Whereas Henley's plus 330. This is a Caesars. So Straka top 10 plus 450 seems pretty good actually. I might consider betting that.
Yeah, and it doesn't seem like that they are both a trending golfer. I mean, they're both from when they opened until now, they have gained some steam on both of them. So I mean, they're both golfers that aren't like under the radar for anyone at all. So I mean, if you would look between the two, I mean, if you would compare the two, I mean, Seth has more likable odds to bet, but it's almost like a coin flip.
Yeah. Love T says we have direwolves. Yeah, direwolves are back. I actually saw a funny thing on on Twitter. I forget the account, but like it was just a parody account. And it's like direwolves go extinct once again once Anthony Fauci has them in experiments. That was pretty funny. And Walter, looking handsome. I can't grow a beard. Well, thank you so much. I could grow this, but then my wife, when it gets too long, she's like shave it, so or at least like trim it. So I can't let it grow too long. All right. So we talked about the guys in the anyone else in the 9K range before we move on.
Okay, so I said Brooks, I said Rom, I saw Bryson, I saw Abear. If I have to play a player pool, I guess Jordan Spieth a little bit too. Jordan Spieth he's kind of one of those guys where like if he's popular, like when he's popular, he rarely goes off, and then when he's not popular, then he kind of like spikes a little bit, kind of like where. So I haven't seen where his ownership is or where it's projected, and especially with the Masters when it comes to a smaller pool of golfers as compared to like a U.S. Open. People are going to see that, oh, this golfer is low owned, so then Wednesday it kind of brings it back up. So there's definitely more movement that we've seen DFS wise. So I'm curious to see where he lands. If people are like too scared to play him, he looks like he's trending back.
Yeah, he finished fourth and ninth, and he struggled recently. 12th at the Valero, but. What do you think about Joaquin Niemann? He's a live guy. He has 2 wins this year, though. And like people will point out that he's never done well at a major. Let's pull up the history here. It's pretty disturbing, like how bad he's been at majors. So yeah, look, 23rd, 16th, 22nd. Those are his 4 best finishes. Never anything above 16th. But it was 16th at the Masters, though, 22nd at the Masters. So it feels like if he does well at a major, or relatively well, it is at the Masters. He is a great approach player. He hits the ball very far. Around the green play is hit or miss. So that might be his downfall, but I don't think it's not very bad. It's like sometimes he's good, sometimes he's not. And the fact that like he's done somewhat okay at the Masters, I think that makes me more confident in him. He's only 26 too, so like the fact that he hasn't done well in a major, it's like every time he's been in a major, he's been 25 or younger. So like now he's entering the prime of his career, and like the fact that he's never had success here, even though he's won twice so far, I feel like that could put people off of him. But I mean, you seem to have ownership numbers, so maybe you can tell me I'm wrong. But what do you think about Niemann?
The major record definitely is concerning. I do like the fact that he typically kind of shows up like as like practice rounds and everything, that he looks good, making good shots and everything. But for whatever reason, he just can't seem to. Yes, we are gambling on some golf.
It makes it so much fun.
Like I've said before, like I was saying earlier, like if you don't know a lot of these names, golf is trending again. And there's a lot of like random drama that's happening with on and off the course. It's go watch Full Swing on Netflix. This is not an advertisement.
Buy Netflix stock. No, I'm just kidding. No, I will say this before we move on.
Getting that cease and desist letter immediately.
Right. Before we move on to more on Niemann, I'll say this: like, if you will just watch golf and you have no stake in the game, it's probably very boring. But if you're betting on someone, or if you're like in a DFS sweat, it is the most, except for football, I think the most exciting sport to watch, because like you're like living and dying with every stroke. It's really that intense, especially in round 4. So I would recommend it. I mean, like, look, if you're not like a big golfer, golf bettor or whatever, and you've never watched it before, just put like $10 on a guy. Like put $10 on Scheffler. I guarantee you're going to be locked in on Sunday. I guarantee it. So yeah. All right. So yeah, move on. So you want to finish on Niemann?
Yeah, I will say he's not a guy I typically click, even when he was on the PGA Tour. He's not someone I would typically play in a DFS lineup. And I don't know why. It was just, I always kind of got that feeling where it's like, I feel like there's better plays. And I mean, I think he's going to be popular. I feel like he's going to be popular this week, especially seeing the 2 wins. So I get it. And ownership you can kind of throw out of the window in some ways, because again, you're going to have smaller player pool. But you have to make decisions in what you're going to do. And like, I mean, if you're playing this Million Maker, it's you versus 500,000 people. So you got to make uncomfortable decisions. Like, if you're going to play if you're going to play two popular golfers, how are you going to get different? You can't just, I mean, do you want to share $1 million with 1,000 of your friends? Sure, you're going to make money, but it's not going to be. I don't think I've ever seen 1,000 split or 1,000 people split for a tournament before in golf. I mean, I've seen a couple times where it's like chopped like 2 or 3 times, but there's many ways you can get yourself different.
Yeah, for sure. So we have first, Lefty says, Walter's handsome man, charismatic, intelligent person. Thank you so much. Lefty, helping me up here. Thank you so much. All right, Can't Make Eagle says for Patrick Reed is Fat Pat Reed is 100-1. He's been 12th or better, four of his last 5 Masters. He's 58th in my model, so he didn't grade out so well. So let's take a look at exactly why that is. So let's look at Patrick Reed here. So he's 34 years old. His approach play is not very good. Around the green, pretty good. Doesn't hit the ball very far. He putts well. So why did I ding him? Oh, here's why. So his putting has been awful this year, although he did improve in that regard at Miami. So maybe he's trending upward. His approach play has not been very good this year. Pretty mediocre. And his distance has been way down this year too. So you look at these numbers, and I use this as a basis, so I write this stuff down. But then I look at like previous performances and kind of like increase or decrease my my stats for these guys, and I ding them on all 3 of those. I ding them on putting, distance, and approach play. But like you said, Kim Eagle, he had a 4th at the Masters, 12th, 35th here, but 8th and 10th. So 4 out of the last 5, he's been in the top 10. So I've heard this opinion about the Masters. It's like you either like know the course or you don't. Like you're either like super comfortable there and you don't get freaked out, or you just spaz out and just struggle. Like, so it looks like Patrick Reed is one of those guys where like maybe he doesn't grade out well, but he does have a great history. And even though he's not playing well this year, he could get a top 10 or a top 20 given his recently poor play. Although, I guess 7th here. I'm not going to count this Asia tour, but 7th here and then 10th, even though it is live, still maybe a sign that he's trending in the right direction. So, I mean, you could be onto something here, Canadian Eagle. So what is Patrick Reed on Bookmaker? Patrick Reed is 100-1 in the top 10. He is plus 550, and top 20 he is. Let's see here, top 20 he is. Where is it? He is plus 210 in the top 20. So maybe you want to look at that, or maybe like do both, like a smaller bet on plus 550 and a slightly larger bet on plus 210. You can do that. I wouldn't bet him to win, but I think you're on to something here like a top 20. So plus 210, not bad for Patrick Reed, just given his history here. Any thoughts on Reed?
I would agree. So I was pulling up his odds here as well. Plus 450 for top 10 looks like.
Yeah, so Caesars plus 550.
Yeah, Caesars you're going to have much better. Caesars you're going to have better odds. Mm-hmm. But I mean, he certainly is trending in the right direction. I mean, he got a T7 in Miami, but he was first round leader actually for that live tournament. So that kind of get into that mindset as well. So he just certainly is, like I said, trending in the right direction. I mean, he is a Masters winner as well. So I mean,
yeah, 2018. Yeah. So
he has drifted a little bit in the odds though, but a little bit in the outright market. But I wonder if it's kind of one of those like Scotty's the boogeyman. Like, what are you gonna do?
Right. It's gonna be difficult to beat him. But yeah, I mean, look, top 20 plus 210, maybe top 10. Even like he is trending upward, like you said. So yeah, I think it's worth it. I might add this to my card. I might bet him plus 210 to be in top 20.
Maybe he ate too many of Scotty's sliders from the Masters mail tonight.
Yeah, exactly. So no, I think that's a good call, Kim Eagle. Thanks for that one. All right, so okay, so I guess we can move on to the 8K range. We have Shane Lowry at 8,800. He's the most expensive. Minwoo Lee, who's won recently, 8,500. We have Patrick Can't Win at 8,700. I bet Can't Win or Can't Lay, as his name is.
Or Can't Play.
Can't Play. Yeah, he's plus 312 profit boosted on FanDuel. They give you a profit boost. Then I took Can't Lay to finish top 10. Although I am scared to see what he is in Caesars. I feel like I did that incorrectly because he the Caesars, which I wasn't aware of, has top 10s and top 20s. They have better odds here. So Cantley's plus 300. So I like my profit boost on FanDuel is just slightly better than the regular odds on Caesars. Anyway, I did bet Cantley top 10 at plus 310. He can't win, but he does finish highly. So I'm comfortable with that. And also in this range, I bet Shane Lowry to finish top 10 at plus 250 on DraftKings, which I'm sure you can, plus 300 here, just better number on Caesars. So I apologize for giving you guys the worst numbers, but it is, at least it's better than FanDuel. DraftKings is better than FanDuel in that regard. So anyway, we talked about Henley. Zalatoris is someone that's really interesting to me. Cam Smith, another live guy here. Bhatia, who was a huge disappointment last week. Bobby McIntyre, 8K. So what are you looking at in the 8K range?
This is kind of a hard range for me because there's a lot of tipped golfers here.
Okay. You want to explain what tipped golfers is for those who don't know?
Tipped golfers, so it's just people that are just they're seeing certain odds and they're just saying, I'm just going to keep betting it. It's like all these like Twitter touts and all these I'm somehow like the term tout, somehow don't like the term tout, but a lot of people that are like popular, like giving advice on like who to bet, people are going to see those names. You're just going to keep betting that name, and sometimes it can shorten their odds a little bit. Did I say that right?
Oh yeah, totally, yeah.
So he, so yeah, like for instance, Henley is on the list for most tipped golfers. So like right now, there came out a list that came out about 3:45 Central Time here today, and so here's the list of golfers that are the most tipped, and this is in no order. It is Morikawa, Bobby McIntyre, who's in the 8K range, John Rahm, Russell Henley, Shane Lowry, who's again in the 8K range, Sepp Straka, Xander Schauffele, and Brooks Koepka. So these are popular picks in the betting world. So if I'm looking at that and relating that to DFS, I'm starting to kind of feel like, well, let's say if I go to the idea of I want to play Scotty and Bryson. Well, one thing that I got to figure out is, can I even get to the 8K range? And if I can get the 8K range, I'm probably not going to play some of these popular tipped golfers. So like I can cross off Lowry, I can cross off Bobby McIntyre. I actually feel like Bobby McIntyre might actually be the one of the highest owned golfers when lock happens, just because I could see that in the 8K range, maybe he might be more popular than Morikawa would be. And he seems to just be really kind of trending in that right direction. So it's like, well, do I want to take that risk?
Right.
But golfers I do kind of like in this range are, I do like Cam Smith.
Okay.
He got himself into the mix the first time when Scotty won. So I do like that. I think he's hitting well. But one thing that I also keep in mind too is he has cut off his mullet. He has shaved his beard and his mustache, so he looks like a different person out there. So maybe people will confuse who he actually is out there.
That's where 2 strokes at least, right?
What's that?
That's where 2 strokes at least, right? Cutting the mullet.
Well, your commenter right here wouldn't like the fact that he doesn't have a clean shave now. So.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Cam Smith's he didn't grade out too well for me. but guys in the 8K range, I was talking about. I don't know if we're going to play these guys, but like, look, you were talking about starting with Scheffler and DeChambeau. I think you were talking about, and then putting McIntyre in. You have 6,500 left per player. Like, that's pretty brutal.
Yeah, you're probably going to be playing like 6K golfers at that point. So, like, who do you feel more comfortable? Do you feel more comfortable playing all these value players that, like, do you think they've got the win equity, or you have to get yourself different and fade the 8K range, or like maybe you don't play Bryson, then you just skip the 9K range. You go like Scotty, and then like maybe like one the 8K, and then just play a bunch in the 7K range, and then so there's a lot of different ways to do that. But if you are playing Scotty, I mean, you got to kind of have the strategy for what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'm not in love with most of the guys in the 8K range. I'm out on most of them. Yeah, like even the guys I like Lowry and Cantlay, I like them, but a little too expensive. You know, they're right next to like Neiman and Koepka. Like it just feels like they should be like 1,000 cheaper, not 600 cheaper. You know, so they're not. Like if they were like 8,200, 8,100, I'd have a much more interest in them. But I think they're a little too expensive. But maybe it's a contrarian play at that point. So I'm not like a super opposed to them. Min-Woo Lee, I don't think his approach play is that good here. I mean, like he drives the ball so well, but his approach play, it's not bad, but it's not like amazing. I think like I want some guy. I want a golfer who's great at approach play. Will Zalatoris, I think is really interesting. I talked about guys who are comfortable at the Masters, like. Will Zalatoris definitely exemplifies that. So I want to bring him up. He's mystifying to me. I have no idea what to make of him. Now he missed a whole season with it was a back injury, I believe. But he has not finished above 12th this year. So I'm like, okay, like why would I have interest in him? But he hits the ball very far. His approach play is amazing. Around the green plays is not great, but solid. His putting is just awful. Like that's what's cost him. But like even when he's putted well this season, he went 30th at the Players, 48th at Pebble Beach, 26th at the Century. So I'm like even when he puts well, like why is he not winning? So it's just very confusing to me. But you look at the Masters history. He got 9th in 2024. He got 6th in 2020. 2022, and he got 2nd in 2021. Right? We're talking about Patrick Reed's history. Like this guy has only played the Masters 3 times, and he's finished 2nd, 6th, and 9th. That like screams top 10 to me, but he has not finished top 10 this year. So like, like what is happening here? I don't know what to make this guy. What do you think about Zalatoris? Because I'm like losing my mind, like trying to figure out this guy if I want to bet him or just completely fade him. Like I don't know what to make of this. What do you think?
It kind of almost seems like he's just riddled with this back injury. Like he just can't get over that hump again. It's almost like when he finally got his win. Like he finally did it after all these second places, top fives. He finally got the win, and then he got hurt, and it's almost like he's reverting back to this play where it's like, okay, I can be comfortable like betting him in like the top 20, maybe top 10, but it's like he's trying to get over that hump again. So if he's trying, it's almost like if he's trying to get over that hump, it's like, can you completely get over that hump and actually win it? Or can you just get there just enough to get like to a T5? So it's like, it's almost like he's trying to work his way into a T5 instead of work his way into a win. That's just kind of just how how my gut is kind of feeling it. So, I mean, I can see in that aspect where it's like, well, how do you play that field?
Right.
John Daly, he'll probably be at the 19th hole, and he'll probably also be flirting with your mom.
Look at his beard. He's 58. Yeah, he doesn't have a pentagon anymore. It's a small triangle. It's a sad triangle. The poor guy. Yeah, he is. This year he has 56th, 75th, and 50th at the Champions.
Great character, but just he's not gonna. He'll quit on. He'll definitely quit on you. He'll be one of those golfers that he'll be like 10 over, and he's just like, all right, I'm done.
Yeah, last time he made the cut at a major was 2012, so it's been quite a while. All right, let's get to the 7K range here, which we Nuggets called it the sweet spot. You have Connors, you have Finau, Clark, Thigala, Jason Day, Cephalon Straka, 7,600. Talk about him. Tom Kim seems broken to me. Dustin Johnson, 7,500. Sam Burns, Matthew Fitzpatrick also a little bit broken. Patrick Reed talked about him. Sung J M, he talked about broken. He's a complete mess right now. Justin Rose, Adam Scott, Maverick McNeely, Berger, Sergio Garcia, Davis Thompson, Cam Young, and Keegan Bradley to round out the 7K range. So what are you looking at here?
Oof, there's a lot of golfers out here that I feel like I can just immediately cut out. Like, for instance, like Cam Young hasn't done anything. You've mentioned Sung J M. Like if it's not in Asia, he's not going to win, sort of thing. It's like some of these golfers just really haven't like shown like if you're at a course where it's demanding like patience, demanding vibes, like all that sort of thing. Like I'm just not getting that vibe from Sunjay or from Cam Young. Like if you would have proven yourself earlier, if you were proving yourself like within the last month that okay, you can get yourself kind of in the mix or something. Okay, I can see it, but maybe you might be able to do like one good round, but can you put 4 days together? I don't know. Like if you play golf DFS like I do week in and week out, I mean there's showdown. So I mean showdown is just essentially instead of round 4, it's going to be pick a golfer and hope he goes low just for that single round. I mean, like those would be good targets for that. But can they put 4 rounds together? I'm not very confident in that. Berger seems to have fought his demons from a couple of years ago, and he's really he's really showing that he can play golf again. Now, he did come out like earlier in the season saying like, "Oh, I feel better than I did a couple of years. My swing feels better than I did a couple of years ago." I'm like, you feel a little overconfident to me. But he's been slowly showing that like he's been putting up results. Now he did get himself into the mix in Scottsdale and almost won, but then he fell backwards on the last round. So last round is where it matters. So can you spike on that last round? If you're in first, I have a feeling that you're going to go backwards, kind of like where Gary Woodland did, almost won the tournament, but I'm thinking someone else here. Mm-hmm. If you're looking at like players that have drifted, let's see what would be here. Thigala is probably like the one golfer that like no one wants to play. Like he keeps on dropping on the odds boards and everything like that. Like people are concerned about him, but then he's also spiked at like Scottsdale. He seems to also do well at the next week's course, which would be at Harbortown or RBC Heritage. That seems to be a golf course where he can kind of contend as well. So it's almost like, well, maybe this week isn't the right week, but next week might be, sort of thing.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, he's definitely having a down year. I mean, he could turn it around, but I mean, we've seen no signs of that. Wyndham Clark, he hits the ball very far. He had a 5th place finish at the Houston Open. You would expect him to play well there, but as we talked before, the Masters has lengthened its course a little bit, so that could play into Clark. I don't really want to bet him, but 7,700 feels like a decent price for him. You talked about Straka. Yeah, I like Straka, although more single entry than big field tournament. I think that he's an easy fade in this $10 tournament. But like I said, if you're playing single entry with only 2,000 people, then I think you could definitely play Straka there. Patrick Reed's not. I mean, we talked about Reed's course history. I think that's interesting.
There's a lot of golfers that you would normally see in this range that would normally be up in like 8K, sometimes even 9K. Like you see Tony Finau at 7,800. I mean, like how many times have I seen Tony Finau in the 8Ks or the 9Ks? It's crazy to see him down in the 7K, but it's like you've got all these golfers in the field. Like, how are you going to price them? You can't price everyone in the 9Ks. You can't fit all those golfers into one lineup. So I can see where, like, oh, he's discounted. He's shown that he can. I mean, he's top 10 Tony. I mean, he went on a run that he was just constantly getting top 10s, top 5s. And it's like, well, we've seen that from him. We haven't seen much from that this year. But I mean, it's crazy to see how much his salary has drifted.
Yeah, I heard Andy Lack from Inside Sports Network. I think that's what it's called. He noted that Finau's dealing with some personal stuff, I don't know if that's still lingering, but that would explain like some of these horrible finishes. Since like he got fifth at the Genesis, and he took like almost a month off, and since then 36 cut, 36 56, like 32nd 56. So like he just it feels like he's dealing with something off the course, that's really affecting him. And I also heard that he's also dealing with an injury too, so it's kind of double whammy here. So like even though Finau looks like a deal here at 7,800, I think I'd rather just pass on it.
Yeah.
Corey Connors has done well recently. 8th, 6th, 3rd. Texas Open, he didn't do so well. But I didn't want to bet the favorites at the Texas Open. I thought that was a mistake because I feel like they were preparing for the Masters. But like if Connors like bounces back a little bit, I think he can definitely get there. So I think he's interesting at 7,900. Davis Thompson, he graded out pretty well in my model. He's 17th in the model. He hits the ball far. He has great approach play, great around green play. The putting is hit or miss with him. That's
he can bomb it. He can certainly bomb it.
Yeah, absolutely. So like the putting is a slight concern for me. Maybe not more than a slight concern. That's like I think that's like the reason why I bet him. Look at his stats here. Just approach play, spiking, distance, obviously, like you said, but his putting. Last 2 tournaments he has gained strokes putting, but like look at this, like just like some tournaments he's just been awful putting. But 7,000, I think that I don't think that's that bad for Davis Thompson. I think he fits this course well outside of putting, and really like the putting is not that important here. Like you don't want to be a bad putter, but like you definitely like want to putt somewhat well. So if he has like a max like a spike week for putting, then like he could definitely get there. So he's interesting at 7K. You mentioned Cam Young. He's just awful right now. Maverick McNeely has been playing better recently. But
everyone wants to play Sergio Garcia. I think I've heard just
really
every single other podcast where like everyone's just like all over Sergio Garcia. So I can see him being a very popular play.
Yeah, where did Sergio grade out for me? He was 24th in my model. So the only weak part of his game is around the green. But yeah, I mean he's excellent elsewhere. So. Makes sense, 7,100. I mean, again, he's one of those guys where you play him in single entry and you avoid him in these 400,000 person tournaments. So
he's weird because he's kind of drifting a little bit in the odds board, but yet people are obsessed with like wanting to play him in DFS this week. So it is a very interesting. It's kind of like a void. It's like, okay, so you're really interested in playing him in DFS, but like he's drifting in odds. So it's like. I don't know how that really works in this case, but
yeah, he's also 45 too. Like, and he plays at the Live, which is 3 days. Can a 45-year-old last 4 days? I say this as a 42-year-old, and I don't think I can. Yeah, I mean, he won the Masters in 2017. That was almost 10 years ago. So I don't know if that's the reason why people like him. Plus, he has a first-place finish this year at Hong Kong. And 3rd and 4th look great too. But yeah, I don't know. I mean, a 45-year-old like lasting 4 days. I don't know. It just feels like don't want to really go there. So I think this is going to be a fade for me.
There's very few golfers that can contend like that. Like Phil Mickelson might be. He's in that. Phil, when we get down to the 6K range, I mean, Phil Mickelson is kind of he's actually kind of being a little bit popular at the moment, from what I can see, is because like he's showing a couple top 10s in the Live Tour. I mean, obviously he's won multiple times here at the Masters. Yeah. So that kind of gets people on a vibe of like, okay, well, maybe Mickelson's got one more in him, kind of like what Tiger did. Like maybe he's got one more in him. Like I could see it. He's actually one of those. I've actually had him in my player pools the last couple of years too, and okay.
Yeah, second at the Masters 2 years ago. I think people remember that. Like I mean, John Rahm won that year. Koepka had the lead, and Rahm caught him, and then Phil had this amazing Sunday where he shot 65 on Sunday. It was like came out of nowhere. That Masters tournament, I think on day 3 there was like a hurricane or something. It was like insane weather, which like everyone, if you look at like the round 3 scoring, everyone had like
year. Oh no! I think the last couple of years we've had the downpour rain, and then last year round 3 was like typhoon style winds, and like
Yeah.
you literally saw your ball like rolling off the greens because of the wind. It was nuts.
Yeah, that's what happened in 2023 as well. They couldn't even finish round 3. And I think that really hurt Koepka because I think like he was doing better than most people in round 3. Yeah, he shot 73, which is not great, but like everyone else is like shooting 75, 76. Like it felt like he was doing better. And then they pushed it to round 4, and then he just had this meltdown. I remember this clearly because I bet Koepka that tournament. It was a heartbreaker loss. I mean, Rahm was just a machine down the stretch. But yeah, I mean, it's much different now, whereas like Koepka hasn't done well recently in majors, and Rahm has he hasn't really won much, if anything, since the Masters in 2023. So yeah, so anyway, yeah, we're talking about Phil Mickelson's almost 55. Like, I don't know, like eventually you're gonna be like too old to contend. You know, the second is 2 years ago. I feel like once you're in your 50s, like 2 years is a huge deal. You know, I remember like in my gym, you know, this is 10 years instead of 2, but in my gym, there used to be like an over 40 league and an over 50 league. And like the over 40 league, like they're actually like good athletes there. Like you watch the game, like they look like 20, 30-year-olds. You watch the over 50 league, it's like decrepit old men just like not doing anything, you know, like it's such a big difference. And like once you get to like 55, it's pretty tough. Kimmy Gnu says, I heard Phil's minus 160 to be the top senior golfer seems probable. Yeah, there's not much competition here for Phil. You know, like he's actually doing really well at Live, and like a lot of the other guys, just like you know, they're champions. They're on the Champions Tour. They're not even on the Live or PGA Tour. So I'd have to look at the whole list, but I'd have to think Phil is atop that in my model. So yeah, I agree with that. So anything else at 7K before we move on to 6K?
No, we can kind of move on.
Okay. 6K and yeah, let's just name. We're not going to run through every name. There's a bunch of guys, and frankly, a lot of these guys just shouldn't be here. Like,
yeah, there's a lot of golfers. Like even though it's a smaller range, they're a smaller group. There's only like 70 golfers,
yeah,
70 or 75 or something like that. I mean, there's a lot of like old time golfers that you could just cut out of the field. There might be like a couple of them that make the cut, but they're not going to get you. They're not going to get in the mix. I mean, like. My dad's favorite golfer is Freddie Couples, but like he's not gonna contend with Scott. Like he's just not.
So, well, no, I mean, like I actually like it that they bring back the former champions of the Masters. I think that's fun. Like you get to see the old guys reminisce. He's 65. Like there's no way he's gonna do well. Last time he made a cut at a major, actually no, 2023 he made the cut. Got 50th place. So, but otherwise been cut. And then 2018 was the last time for them. So,
well, last year Tiger made the cut, but then he ended up in last place after for everyone that made the cut. So I mean, that's like sure you're going to get the vibes of like people saying like, yeah, you're cheering you on and everything. You're a past champion and everything, but you're also strokes getting old.
Yeah. That's what I was saying before about Sergio and like, you know, Phil. It's like these old guys, like going out there 4 days in a row just seems like so difficult for them, you know, especially couples. Like, yeah, maybe he can make the cut, maybe. But like once you get to day 3, you know, that back is going to start acting up. Like I'm sure he has like a shoulder or an elbow or something that isn't 100% because he's 65, you know. So yeah, I mean, like you definitely don't want to have these guys in your lineup at all, unless you want to like go for last place or something. Which is like that'd be kind of unique, just to like have a screenshot like of last place and you actually had golfers there. So like if you want to do that, just play couples. But yeah. So anyway, as far as like real players that you want to play, and you mentioned it, like you want to cross a lot of these guys off. And also, like I said this before, some of these guys just shouldn't be here. Like, and I guess like and before I have egg on my face for these guys doing well, the Hogard brothers, like the twins, like why are they even here? Like they haven't really done anything to justify like them being here. Like Jake Knapp should definitely be in here. Ben Griffin should be in here over them. But you want to give us some run through a few names that you're kind of looking at in 6K range?
Well, first you got a comment from a past buddy of ours. I am the key. He's asking about Bubba at 6,100. I mean, he's another one of those older guys too. I mean, I can't remember what he's. I haven't heard his name at all on the Live Tour. Let's bring him up there.
All right, so let's look at the data golf. That's the best way to do it. Bubba Watson. Bubba Watson is 46 years old, so old but not that old. So at Live 33rd, 38th, 30th, 21st, 12th. So
he's like cashing his paychecks basically.
Yeah, I mean, last time he made the cut at a major is 2022 with PGA Championship, finished 30th. Last time he finished in the top 10 of a major, or 12th. He finished 12th at the 2019 Masters and 5th at the 2018 Masters. So it looks like he used to do pretty well at the Masters. Obviously, he's a former champion. He's won twice at the Masters, but that was 2012, 2014. Yeah, I mean, he's 46, like he's definitely past his prime. I would rather play Jaeger at 6,300. I just think there's so much more upside with him, just given his driving distance and improved approach play this year. I don't think you need to go to 6,100. And this is what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. I think this pricing on DraftKings golf is broken. Like Bubba Watson and Freddie Couples should not be 6,000, 6,100. They should be 4K. Like this should go down to 4K for these guys with zero chance, because then you could justify, okay, if you put Scheffler and McIlroy in your lineup and you can put in Freddie Couples at 4K, then suddenly you're like, okay, that's an interesting build because you're punting it, you're pure punt at one of the spots.
Yeah.
But if you nail the other five, if you go like the other five finish in the top 10, all finish the top 10, you're looking at a possible win. So I think that like the pricing really needs to change. And until it does, I'm not going to play these guys. Like there's no reason to play these guys when there's so many better plays in the upper crust of the 6,000s and 7,000s. Like there's just no reason to go here. You know what I mean?
Like if you're catching a vibe from one of these players, like for instance with Bubba, no one's going to be on Bubba. Bubba's probably going to be like 1% or less in DFS. But if you have this gut feeling that he's going to get himself in the mix, I will not. I'll be with you. Like I will cheer you on. Like if he's there, like I'll seriously cheer you on, because it's like if you have if you have that gut feeling and you're right, I'm cheering you on because you had that feeling that yes, he's going to get there. I'm willing to gamble. I'm willing to risk on one of these golfers. But I can't see Bubba Watson winning the Masters.
No.
I mean, maybe he's got a T20 into him, but then you also kind of consider like, is T20 even going to be enough to like ship you $1 million?
Right.
Maybe in like a smaller field, like, okay, he made the cut. He did what you need to do. He did exactly what you needed. He made the cut for you, and now you're gaining more points for 2 more days, or hopefully instead of, I mean, sometimes there are times where a golfer that missed the cut has scored more points than someone that's made the cut and then just keeps going backwards. I mean, that certainly has happened before as well. So that's something you got to kind of consider. Like, first off, you want to think of, are all my 6 golfers going to make the cut? Next is, are they going to make the cut and then go backwards?
Yeah. And that's kind of like, I think you made a great point. It's like, yeah, okay, so let's just say you play Watson 6,100 and he gets 20th, right? You're going to be thrilled with that, right? If I told you right now, you play Watson, you got 20th, you'd be like, oh, that's awesome. But you said that's not going to be in the optimal, because there's going to be someone else in the 6K range, like 6,500, 600, maybe Jaeger 6,300, who's going to finish 12th. And they're going to outscore that Bubba Watson at 20th, and they're just not enough of a price difference. Like Bubba Watson should be 4,500. Like if Couples is the lowest at 4K, Bubba Watson should be 4,500. Now that's interesting, right? Because if you have a 20th place finish with a 4,400 price tag, like that is like, yeah, okay, that makes sense to have that in the lineup. But there's no reality in which like Bubba Watson is in the optimal. Like I just can't see him finishing top 10. That seems like insane to me, you know?
I would rather play one of these amateurs that got awarded, that got invited. I'd rather play like, was it Noah Kent? There's a couple of these amateurs. Noah Kent at 6,000. Yep, he's I believe he's another amateur as well. Like I'd rather play one of these amateurs than play one of these past winners. However, there are a couple with exceptions, like Phil Mickelson. I mean, we've seen that. He has proved that Phil Mickelson has proven that he can come out and he can win another major, or he can come out and he's playing pretty well and live to it. Like he's actually showing being in the mix. It's like, okay, go nuts. But again, it's if you have that gut feeling and you're getting vibes from a certain golfer, sprinkle them into your player pool a little bit, but I wouldn't go too far with it.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, like if you're going to play, like, it's crazy to me that Mickelson's only 600 more than Bubba Watson and 700 more in couples. Like, it's, again, not to beat a dead horse, but it just doesn't make any sense. So who are you looking at in the 6K range? We mentioned guys you shouldn't play, but are there some guys you are looking to play here?
Yeah. So go back up to 6,900 and let's see here. So, I mean, we've got Billy Horschel. He's playing on the what's it called, the golf simulator league or whatever, and he's out there grinding every single week. He seems to be grinding every single day. So I mean, like, doesn't seem like he's tired out at all. So I could see him putting himself into the mix. I mean, so that would be kind of a play. I could see like JJ Spawn. I mean, he got himself into a playoff against Rory McIlroy at Players. So he can get himself into the mix there as well. I mean, I could see that as well. He might be kind of a popular play because people are going to see that second place at the Players Championship. But I mean, he's at least proven that he can he's at least proven that he can contend. I'm looking at golfers that probably are not their first time here. Like Nuggets mentioned, like Aaron Rai. Like I get that. I get the feeling I understand the feeling like of playing him, but again, it's maybe I just need to set a rule that says like, okay, this is his first time here. I'm just not going to play him if he's at a certain I think it's a certain salary range or something of that sort. So I have no problem with Aaron Rai. It's just more of just kind of a vibes feel.
My dog has appeared on the screen. It's Cassandra saying, congratulations on getting me to listen to 2 hours of golf talk. I need my dog is I think she wants to go out, so it's I think we should wrap it up here. We are approaching 2 hours.
Yep. So I'll name a couple more golfers out there. I've kind of looked at like Cam Davis. I mean, he's got a top 10 from last year. He's trying to strike my interest a little bit. Let's see here, but he also hasn't been playing very well. So I mean, he could be a hit or miss. Right. We got Max Gracerman. He's also been grinding out this tour as well. He seemed to be playing very well on the Florida golf courses. And so, I mean, you're in the South as compared to being out in California. Bez, I've always liked the South Africans in majors. It seems like the South Africans always seem to like show up on these major fields. So, I mean, South African, there you go. Let's see, what else do we have out here? I would probably skip on Max Homa. I think we already covered that. Yeah. Let's see. I always like to play Tom Hoge. He's cheap. He's always he won Pebble Beach. He's put himself into the mix a couple of weeks. I could see him being a popular play, but I have no problem. But I have no problem playing him in this certain situation where it's like, okay, you're figuring out how to get unique. So I like Tom Hoge there. He's great with his iron play as well. Let's see who else is down here as well. I think Nick Dunlap was down there as well. Nick Dunlap, he's been kind of a DFS darling. Like a lot of people always like to kind of play him as well. Nico Echevarria, Austin Eckroat. There's a lot of good 6K golfers down here. So it's kind of pick who you feel that's vibing.
Yeah, real quick, because my dog, like I said, my dog wants to go out. So I want to run through the 6K guys I have in the top 35 in my model. JJ Spawn is 16th. He's driving distance is up this year. Great approach player. So that's going to put me on him. His putting is inconsistent though, so that worries me. But I'm betting him to finish in the top 20. Davis Thompson's not 6K, he's 7K flat, so
okay.
he's close enough. Same with Keegan Bradley, 7K flat, so yeah, it's close enough to 6K. Stefan Jaeger, I mentioned him before, he's 23rd in my model. I talked about him before, so no need to rehash that. Michael Kim is 6,700. So he had a great start to his season. He's been on a decline recently, but it's still a positive season overall. His putting has kind of taken a dive though, so that is my worry with him. But if you just take out putting, I think he has what it takes to finish top 10. So 6,700 for Michael Kim, I think makes sense. You just need him to putt well, which I feel like it's hit or miss with him. Denny McCarthy, Nuggets brought him up, the best putter on tour. His driving distance is not that good though, and so that kind of puts me off of him. But if you're talking about 6,500, he's like safe, like he is good with his irons, great around the green, and he's even better at putting. Like the closer you get to the hole, like the better he is. So I feel like McCarthy 6,500 is pretty safe. And there are two more in the 6K range. Taylor Pendrith, great driving distance, great approach play. His around the green play is horrible though, so it kind of goes to like what Cam Eagle was saying about Oberg, the around the green play really messing with him. That's what really could cost Pendrith. But you're not betting Pendrith to win here. You're betting Pendrith to maybe finish top 15 at 6,700. He could definitely do that. But like whatever else he could do. And the final guy in the top 35 of my model, who's 6K or in the 6K range, is Kevin Yu. He was brought up before, and he met some of Nuggets' criteria. If you listen to the beginning of the show, Nuggets brought up some criteria that he was looking at. Like Kevin Yu was like, what do you say? He hit like 15 out of 19, I think. I can't remember why Nuggets brought him up, but he definitely hit some sort of criteria.
I think it was like a lot of trends or something.
Yeah, something like that. So Kevin Yu, he's kind of like Pendrith. He hits the ball very far. He's great with his irons, but he's bad around the green. He's a worse putter than Pendrith. So that's why he's a little bit lower, but he is putting better recently. So I'm going to bring that up before we head out. Just Kevin, because he's so cheap. I think that he needs to be looked at. Yeah, I mean, putting, like, it's not like this putting is pretty bad. He's only gained strokes twice on putting this year. But it's not like atrocious, like he was awful here at the Players. But like other than that, it's not like horrendous putting. It just
he is
bad.
gaining on approach. So I mean, like if he spikes
exactly.
like getting in within like 6 feet of the pin all the time,
Right.
I mean, like you just got to make all those putts. Like if you put them like 20 feet from the pin, it's like I don't expect him to drain it to make that putt. But if he keeps getting that approach play, I mean, he can get himself into the mix.
Yeah, absolutely. So plus look at his driving distance, excellent. And recently 16, 17, 12, 18. So yeah, we're not asking this guy to win. We're asking him to finish in the top 20, which you would definitely take from a 6,300 guy, which he has potential to finish like 12th. So he's not going to be like the ultimate like upside for Bubba Watson, which is like top 20, like 20th. Kevin, you could possibly get into the top 10, but I think like 12th, 16th, something like that is more realistic. So that's about it. Any final thoughts before we head out?
No, I just kind of just watch what's going on. I know a lot of people are kind of trying to watch now with in Augusta. You can't have your phones there, so I mean you're going off of what people have actually seen. You can't actually see videos. A lot of people, unless it's been like approved by broadcasts and whatnot. But if you want to go throughout the day or even like tomorrow night and kind of watch Twitter to see like what people who are physically there and seeing what their thoughts are, I mean, kind of get you into the feel kind of with the vibes. I'm really kind of going after the vibes of what people are, of what people have been saying. I mean, those are the kind of golfers I'm kind of targeting because that kind of tells me that they are ready to be comfortable playing for 4 days at a very demanding golf course.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, totally agree with that. So Kim McGill says, I heard a fun pizza money bet was for you to make an eagle in the first round 12-1. Well, he has the driving distance to do it on, so on those par fives. So
a hole in one is an eagle. So
that's true. I love real quick Mario Golf, where you can like routinely make hole-in-ones on par fours. It's just like so fun. I was like, you can design your golfer and like you do the story mode, and like I just put everything into driving distance. Like my golfers are so inaccurate, but he just gets it to the green. Just is like his driving distance is like 400 yards. It's insane. Yeah. So anyway, yeah, thank you guys for watching. Really appreciate it. So please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. Wednesday, tomorrow, we're gonna have we're gonna do some best ball drafts. Thursday, we're going to have a special guest on to do a mock draft, NFL mock draft. And then Saturday, Tom will be on. So we have guests all week, shows all week. So looking forward to the rest of the shows this week. But yeah, Butters, thank you for coming on, doing this Masters preview. I feel like I'm more prepared now than I was before. So I feel like, from this conversation with you and Nuggets, picked up some other bets I want to make. So yeah, I'll add more to the site by tomorrow morning. So looking forward to watching some golf this weekend. Yep. All right, guys. Once again, thank you so much for watching, listening. Really appreciate it. We'll be back tomorrow. Have a great night, guys, and I will talk to you tomorrow.
Night, guys.